that aren't, have,
We good now.
that to be allied unto wisdom is immortality, and great pleasure it is to have her friendship. And in the works of her hands are infinite riches, and in the exercise of conference with her, prudence, and in talking with her, a good report.
When you exercise, it's what, man? You keep doing something over and over, man. You know? So it says what? The exercise of conference with her. That's you continually talking with wisdom. As you would exercise your body, you exercise your spirit with these words, man. You know?
Repetition.
Yeah.
Repetition makes you stronger.
And it says conference. So that means what? That means you speaking with her, man. How do you speak with her? By reading, by meditating on the things that you read, talking with brothers. You can have a whole spiritual conversation with a brother, man, and just sit back and just reflect on the things that were said. Like, damn, you know? That's all conference with wisdom, man.
Even within yourself, you know, you might be wondering something, and then the Spirit will give you a precept, and then you'll have a whole, the Spirit will give you a whole breakdown, you know? Man.
Yeah, like shit. It's times that I read something and I don't get it, and I'll be like, damn. And I sit back and meditate on it, think about it, and I read it again. You know, I pray to the Lord, read it again, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, I get it now, man. And that was only through the Lord. Like the Lord opens that understanding. You know. But that's through the conference. That's through the meditation.
That's the Lord supping with you.
That's
man.
right.
And you gotta sup with the Lord, you know. Sit at the table with the Lord every day, man. And He gonna deal with you. He gonna sup with you. All right. Closed mouth don't get fed. You gotta eat. You know. You gotta eat every day. It said, "Blessed is thee that's hungry for righteousness' sake," man. You know. You gotta stay hungry for this truth. We ain't on no level to I got it all. You know what I'm saying?
And Sirach says, "He that eateth me shall yet be hungry, and they that drink me shall yet be thirsty." Meaning what? You gonna continually yearn for this, man.
Yeah. You're gonna crave it. You're gonna be addicted to it, man.
I was just gonna say that.
It's in 1 Corinthians, the 16th chapter, I believe it says, it talks about the house of Stephanus, how they was addicted with this ministry, man.
And in the prologue of Sirach, it says those that are addicted to learning, man.
Yep.
Learning what? Learning our history, our heritage.
And we addicted, man. We've been hooked ever since we heard this. You know you addicted
Look,
when you out here in the cold,
I was
man.
just gonna, come on, man. Because I was gonna compare it to a crackhead. A crackhead would be out all day looking for a nigga.
Right.
Thirsty as hell, rubbing them hands together, man. Ugly than a hoe. Cold, right? But shit, we out here, man.
Yeah. Because they need that fix. You know, and we need the kingdom. We trying to do anything. They'll do anything for that fix, and we'll do anything to get into the kingdom. And this is a part of it, man. All right?
Excuse me, I am so sorry. Excuse me.
All right. You know? Hey, this is nothing like we've been going into. This is beautiful. It's a blessing. It's a privilege to come out here.
It's an honor, man.
Ain't nobody else is able to come out here. The Lord He entrusted us with His gospel to come out here, man, and push His word. Not everybody else has been entrusted with that. Because these other niggas wouldn't be diligent to come out here, man. These other niggas would get the gospel and say, man, it's too cold out there. The scripture say a sluggard would not plow because by reason of the cold, man. Therefore, he'll brag in harvest time. All right, it says through slothfulness of hands, the building falleth through. Roughly paraphrasing, if you being slack, if you being slothful, your ship is gonna sink when the floods come, man. If Noah was being slothful, when it came to building the ark, when it started raining, the ark would have holes in it, would have been unfinished. All right, water falling into the base of it, man. He wouldn't have been able to float, but he was diligent when it came to building that ark. It's the same thing we're doing now spiritually. But as it says in Romans the 11th chapter, we move with faith, we move with fear, condemning this world, beginning to build this ark to the saving of our household, man. And we have to be diligent when it comes to that. In the book of Peter, it says, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. But if you do these things, you shall never fall, man. Study to show yourself approved, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, man. We got to put in work. Labor to enter into that rest. All right, that's in the book of Hebrews. You want the rest, you want the kingdom, you want salvation, you want to eat when everybody else is starving, right? We got to put in work for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. And putting in work just ain't lessons. You got to read. You got to study and watch the videos. All right?
You gotta live this.
You got to live it. You got to pray. Be diligent in your prayers. Be diligent just walked through by that time.
You could have just walked through. It's all good. But yeah, just like you go to work for Esau to get a paycheck. Hey, it's the same thing. What we doing here, man? Putting in that work to receive a paycheck from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That kingdom, man. You know.
Hey, scripture say you don't work, you don't eat, man. So you gotta put in the work. Okay.
I got
Go
two
ahead,
real
go ahead,
quick. This is 1 Thessalonians 2:4. It says, "But as we were allowed of the Most High to be put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but the Most High which trieth our hearts." So we out here pleasing Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. You know, who have allowed us to come out here and do this, man, by putting us, by trusting us with the gospel, man.
He has given us, it's a privilege. He's shown us mercy by allowing us to come out here and push this word. It says it in Corinthians. Seeing we have this ministry, we have received mercy, therefore we faint not. All right? The Lord has given us great mercy already and given us this truth and given us this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and allowing us to participate in this ministry, man.
This is 1 Timothy 1:11. "According to the glorious gospel of the blessed power, which was committed to my trust, and I thank Yahweh Shah HaMashiach our Lord, who hath enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry," man. You see? So that's a high honor and privilege to be out here, man. Not feeling your feet in your hands and shit, man. So why do Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua?
Why do Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua? Because at the end of this is a great recompense or reward. All right? Doing this work, the Lord said, because you've been faithful over these few things, I'll give you authority over many cities, man. Now, at the base level, imagine having authority over one city, a city the size of Des Moines. All right? Having authority, everything in that city is yours and obedient unto you. That's just at the base level, man. All right? That's one deep. We know the Lord said, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what the Lord has prepared for them that wait for him. So it's going to go even beyond just one of these physical cities, man. All right? It said, the Lord said in his Father's house is many mansions. If it were not so, he would have told us, man. He said he go to prepare a place for us. All right? He's been preparing that place for us for how long? I'm trying to see what that place like, man. He said he won't drink wine until he drink it with us in the kingdom. I'm trying to see what that wine tastes like, man. I'm trying to be at that dinner table. All right? I'm trying to be in that ceremony, the second chapter, receiving crowns and palms in our hands, man. And this ain't gonna stop me because it's cold. That's not gonna stop me from getting to that to that crown, man. All right? Because I'm a little sick or my back hurt or I'm going through this, that, and the third. We can't allow that to stop us from getting that crown and getting receiving palms in our hands, man. You gonna allow a little bullshit to stop you from sitting with the Lord for eternity? You gonna allow some carnal shit to stop you from having everlasting life and rulership over many cities? We have to stay diligent and keep our mind focused, man. All right? Starting with myself first and foremost. We went to that in Matthew, the 6th chapter. All right? Well, actually, I think when you read up or read down, it said, let your eye be single. Okay? Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be added unto you. We will be taken care of as long as we continue to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in truth and sincerity. He said, my servant shall eat, my servant shall drink. While everybody else is hungry and thirsty, my servant shall rejoice. Okay? While everybody else is mourning and weeping. Touch not my prophets, touch not my anointed, and do my prophets no harm. He gonna take care of his messengers. He gonna take care of the ones that's sighing and crying out here. Set a mark upon them. The word mark is the Hebrew word the wow, which means to be exempt from judgment. Man, I believe in that 100. All right? And I can speak from these brothers. That's why the fuck we out here, man. Because we have belief. We have faith. And the faith came from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. So it's not bragging or boasting about us. It's giving praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for showing us such great amount of mercy in order to allow us to come out here and do this, man. All right? To the outside world, we look crazy. All right? But those that's in the know, we know that there's a great reward. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, I don't think we're crazy. He thinks that he looks at us and we're pleasing in his sight. In 1 Corinthians it says, by the foolishness of preaching it saved them, it pleased the Most High to save them that believe. All right? So this is pleasing to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. This is showing our faith. And you have to have faith to please the Lord. In the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter, the 6th verse, it says, without faith it's impossible to please Yahweh. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So there's a reward if you're seeking him diligently, man. All right? And now is the time to do so. Do I had anything?
Yeah, you go back to Colossians.
Colossians 3
You read 5 again.
and 5. It says, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affections, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry.
So you got to kill that shit. Your members, meaning your flesh, is going to have them different desires. But you got to kill it. That's what it means to mortify. Go ahead.
For which things sake the wrath of the Most High Power cometh on the children of disobedience.
Right. It says this is why the 2/3 are going to be punished, because they follow after those things, man. It says for which sake that the wrath of the Lord is upon the children of disobedience. So we ought not to be like them, man. Go ahead.
It says, in the which ye also walk sometimes.
See, we used to be that, but now the Lord had called us out of darkness into his marvelous light. That goes back to that Peter we was reading. That now, look, hey, the time that we lived as Gentiles, the time that we walked and did those things, man, that was enough. So now it's time to do what's right. Now, as Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Go ahead.
It says, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. But now ye also put off all these, anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth.
Hey, and that ain't talking about so-called curse words, man. Filthy communication talking about speaking lies, man. That's what it's going into. Talking about speaking lies. You should speak the whole truth. Because once your mind is renewed in truth, your words will be renewed, and then what? Your actions will follow. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds.
See? Go ahead.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in the knowledge after the image of him that created him.
How are we renewed?
It says, in knowledge, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
After the image of him that created him. So we're made in the image of Yahweh Shai, man. You see? And we're made in that image according to what? This knowledge. Get 1 Corinthians 2 in the last verse.
1 Corinthians 2.
Because in Hebrews, what's that? Hebrews 10 and 6. It says, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O power. So Yahweh Shai comes in the volume of the book, right? So that's why I see the importance of what? Eating the whole row, of getting this whole book within us, man. So that we can have what? Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 2 and 16. For who have known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
That's it, man. So having Yahweh Shai's mind, that's being made in his image. You see? So that's us walking after his likeness, man. Because the rest of this world is made in the image of what? It's made in the image of Esau. That's why in Revelation 13 it speaks about the image of the beast and how they worship the image of the beast. Basically, that goes back into Esau's rulership, his mindset, and how everything he got set up here, man. How our people got that what? That YOLO spirit, man. You only live once. Do whatever feel good. That's the image of the beast, man. So if you made in that image, man, you're going to be destroyed with this place. But if you're renewed in the knowledge, if you're renewed in the spirit and made after the image of the Lord, then, hey, you're going to receive salvation, man. It's another scripture in Proverbs where it says, I'll find it.
I also say that the people are as the king, man. So as the king, so are the people, man. So this world is pushing forth that wickedness and the world and the people is following after it, man. They living after the things of this world, you know, which gonna lead to death and destruction, man. That's why you have to put on that new man, which gonna lead to life and eternity, you know.
Right, and we have to live after our king, you know. Our king is righteous, so if our king is righteous, we have to follow after that same example. You know.
This is Proverbs 28 and 26. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely he shall be delivered, you know? So we got to walk wisely in this present evil world. And how do we do that, man? According to the scriptures. What do it say? Can you get Wisdom of Solomon 6? Start at 15.
It's the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 15.
He said, I send you forth
Yeah.
as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
And it reads,
Died off.
and it reads,
Oh,
to think therefore
30 minutes
upon
ago.
her wisdom
How?
is perfection of wisdom. And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care.
Right, so it says to think upon her is the perfection of wisdom, man. So we got to meditate on that, man. We got to meditate on these words. And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. Go ahead.
For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought.
And that's the key thing right there. Wisdom has to meet us in every thought, man. You know? Meaning what? Meaning this word should meet us in every thought process, man. Is that the right thing to do according to the word? Is that the right decision to make according to the scriptures? Right? And that's the battle. Sometimes we gonna fail. Sometimes that shit ain't, hey, we in the flesh, man. What do Yahweh shall say? The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So it's times where we fail at that, man. But hey, we gotta build ourselves up more and more in the spirit, man. You know? Go ahead.
Okay.
You was gonna say something?
Yeah, because I was just saying, you know, even earlier today, and I just been meditating on that, you know, and you know, you get into that wisdom, and you start, you know, you think upon the law, and you think about the way things are supposed to be, man, and how we constantly are falling short, but then that wisdom brings in that, hey, man, that's why our Lord Yahweh Shai died for us, man, so that we can have that grace, that mercy, you know. And it just makes you more thankful, and it makes you more appreciative of everything. Man.
And it makes you go harder, man.
Yeah.
Hey, it says in Corinthians that we sorrow to godly sorrow. So when you do fuck up, man, hey, you how much more sorry are you when you do? You know? How much more zeal, how much more commitment and passion that you show to not make that same mistake again? Because you got guys that'll fuck up and be like, oh, well, I'm in the flesh. No, man. That ain't the mindset that you're supposed to have. You ain't supposed to be making those same mistakes over and over again, man. You're supposed to grow, you know? But go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline.
And that's the key thing right there, man. Desire of discipline. That's that 1 Corinthians 9. It says, I put my body under subjection, man. You gotta discipline yourself. That's mortifying your members. Go ahead.
It says, and
In order to be a disciple, you gotta have discipline. Those words are synonymous. Go ahead.
and the care of discipline is love.
Up in the care of discipline is love. So when you start disciplining yourself according to the will of the Lord, and you start examining yourself to make sure that you're living according to the standard, that shows that you love the Lord, man. Go ahead.
And love is the keeping of our laws.
See how it all lines up? And love is the keeping of the laws, man. So now I'm being obedient unto the Lord to show that I love him, man. Go ahead.
And the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
So we'll be straight. We'll be perfect, man. It's the assurance. It's assured incorruption, man. Following the Spirit. Go ahead.
And
That's why it says what, man? Rise ye and depart, because this is not your rest. It speaks about how this place is greatly polluted, the water. So we gotta continually wash ourselves, man. We gotta walk in the Spirit to the best of our abilities. Go ahead.
And incorruption maketh us near unto Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai.
That's it, man. And that incorruption, man, make it that purity that we have through this knowledge, maketh us closer and closer to the Most High, man. Go ahead.
Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
You see, it says the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. So you desiring wisdom is you desiring disciplining yourself according to the will of the Lord. And that's what's going to get us delivered, man. You see, not leaning to our own thoughts or how we feel and what I know, man. It all goes to what the scriptures say, man. What's that, Proverbs 3? Brother, get Proverbs 3 and 15.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 15. She is more...
That's not it. Proverbs 3:5.
This is Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path.
That's it. And how he gonna direct us? Through his word. You know? Go ahead.
Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bone.
That's it. So that's what's gonna keep us healthy. That's what's gonna keep us right, man. You know? Don't be wise in your own eyes according to your own mind. We lean unto the Lord, man. And what's written. We can jump back to Wisdom of Solomon.
Thoughts are not our thoughts. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 21. If your delight then be in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore.
Right, guys like to walk around calling themselves king. What's up, king? What's up, king? No, man, it says, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore, man. You know? Keep going.
As for wisdom, what she is, and how she came up, I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her Salakia, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth.
Right, and will not pass over the truth, man. So I'm gonna let it be known all these things according to what? This word, man. Yep, you know? And that's it. And that's what it's about, man. Serving Yahweh Basham Yahushua to the best of your ability, man. That's what it's about. That's why we out here. We out here to please Yahweh Basham Yahushua, to give diligence to make our calling and election sure. Matter of fact, get that. Get 2 Peter 1, starting at verse 4.
It went for an hour.
Now my phone turned back
Second
on.
Peter chapter 1,
It was Satan, though. That's through the spirit. It was hot. It was hot.
chapter 1 and verse 4. Wherefore, or Salakia, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust, and beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue.
So the first thing we get is faith, man. So it says to add to our faith virtue. When you go into that word virtue, it goes back into morals, man. Basically, you having a standard. That word virtue. So that word virtue can be synonymous to what? What we read in Wisdom of Solomon. You having discipline. You having a standard. You having morals about yourself, man. And our morals is according to the scriptures. Go ahead.
It says, and
Add to your
verse
faith
5.
virtue.
And besides this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge.
And to virtue knowledge, man. And knowledge is what? How to apply those morals, those virtues that you're learning, man. Go ahead.
And to knowledge, temperance.
And then temperance is that balance, it's that discipline, that self-control that you have, man, through that knowledge that you're learning. Go ahead.
Right, because otherwise that knowledge could puff up and have you go off the damn deep end, man. You gotta stay balanced. You gotta keep, Paul said, he said, keep under your body, man. Don't get too high, don't get beside yourself, as they say, man. But a lot of people get this knowledge, they get puffed up, man. You gotta stay humble, you gotta stay meek. The more you grow, hey, really, the higher you become, the more of a servant you become.
More humble.
That's what Yahweh Shai said, man, the more humble you are. This truth is about being humble, not prideful. The Lord don't fuck with no prideful ass nigga, man. He said the meek shall inherit the earth. He said pride is hateful before the Most High and men. You gotta stay humble with it, man. Stay humble, stay hungry. Like they say in the world, apply it to the spirit, man. And that's gonna be the recipe for success. Go ahead.
It says, and to knowledge, temperance, and to temperance, patience.
Yep, and to temperance, patience. Because what? Once you start having that discipline, that self-control within yourself, that suffering, those temptations are going to come, man. That word patience goes back into sufferings. You see? Go ahead.
And to patience, godliness.
Oh, in that patience, that suffering, you get that what? That reverence for the Lord. When you go into that word godliness, that means a deep respect or a fear for the Most High, man. So through what? So like it says in what's that? Romans 5. It says we glory in tribulations, because tribulation worketh patience, patience experience, and experience hope, and hope maketh us not ashamed. So through the things we go through, man, and the Lord shows and delivers, right? We gain what, man? The knowledge of his omnipotency, man. That increases our faith and our fear within him. Go ahead.
And to godliness, brotherly kindness. And to brotherly kindness, charity.
And that's the totality of this work of ours, man. And that's what? It says what? On this hang all the law. Love Yahweh while Yahweh shah with all that mind, body, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself, man. It says you done this, you fulfilled the royal law. That's what makes us royal, man. That's what makes us majestic or regal. It's this knowledge, man. The royal law, exactly.
James, yeah.
Go ahead. Got it.
There's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 7. And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtue.
Start at 5.
Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 5. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom that worketh all things?
Niggas talking about we got to get the bag. You got to do this and that. No, man, it says if riches is to be desired, what is richer than wisdom, man?
Right.
This knowledge that we have, and keep in mind that we have been allowed to understand this, man. So it's like somebody randomly walking up and giving us a whole stack of riches, man, that's invaluable. That's going to have you rich for eternity, man.
Right. And you was a bum at first.
Yeah, you were just through. And he just gave it to you, man. Now you got this infinite riches that don't never run out. That's what the Lord has done for us, man. Go ahead.
And if prudence work, who of all that are is more Salakia? Who of all that are is a more cunning workman than she? And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues, for she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in life.
So this is the most profitable thing that we can have as men, man. Fortitude, prudence, temperance, right? And that prudence, that word prudent goes back into the foresight or the wisdom to know what is suitable or profitable, man. So us as leaders, us as men, us as kings, us as priests, us as prophets, we should be able to discern and know what's suitable and profitable, man, in our everyday life, in all our decision making, you know?
It said, prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, man. You know, so you should be able to see, that's not good for me. Let me get up out of there.
As easy as you see two niggas popping off at the mouth with each other, man, fuck you, nigga, I kill you, nigga. You walking that way, you. Yeah, that ain't wise to go that way. As easy as you can see that, man, hey, that's prudence, man. It's the same thing through the spirit, man. Yeah, the nigga, I'm finna go to the trunk. Oh shit, you know what this
Nigga moment, that's what they call it.
Let me get the fuck from by here. But yeah, niggas will open up their phone, run into the fight and shit.
Straight bullet end up hitting their ass.
Like, no, nigga, get the fuck away from that. Go ahead.
Back in that 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 8. But if these things be in you and abound.
So keep in mind, he said add to those things. Add to your faith, virtue to virtue, knowledge, temperance to temperance, patience to patience, godliness to brotherly kindness to charity. So we're adding to these things, man, to our character, right? So it said that if these things be in you and abound, meaning what? Meaning be overabundance of them, right? Go ahead.
They make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
So if you apply these things, you will never be lacking, man. This is what Peter, Yahweh Shai, said, that I built my church upon this rock. Peter, the head of the church, he's letting us know the blueprint. Look, if you do these things, the knowledge gonna always be in you, man. It said it's gonna make you abound if you apply in these things, man. Go ahead.
But he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off.
Right, he ain't got that, his eye ain't single, man. He ain't got that tunnel vision that the brother spoke about earlier. In the book of Proverbs, it says, where no vision is, the people perish. You gotta see the kingdom of heaven at the end of this road, man. You gotta see the reward, man. It ain't like you just imagining something out the blue. No, the Lord gave us, the brother quoted the vision earlier in 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. We can read and we can see what Ezra saw. He saw those men with Yahushua placing the crowns on those men's head, man. We can read about the glorious apparel that Aaron had. We can read in Revelation, the 21st chapter, about how the streets is going to be paved in gold and the walls built with precious stones, man.
Solomon's kingdom.
You see? So it ain't like we just imagining something out the. No, man. The vision is the scriptures, man. The Lord is showing us, man, so we know what to expect. So you got to see those things, man. You got to see those things. It said that our forefathers died not receiving those things, but they saw them afar off, man. And this was thousands of years ago.
They're fully persuaded.
It says Yahushua, for the joy that was set before him, endured the cross, despising the shame. Yahushua had that vision, man. If we got his mind, hey, we got to have that vision too. Go ahead, bro.
But he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Wherefore the rather, brethren.
It says, wherefore the rather, brethren. So don't lack those things. Don't be blind. Don't forget that you was purged from your sins. Wherefore the rather, brethren. Go ahead.
Brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
How do we do that? By giving diligence to add to our faith, virtue to virtue, knowledge to knowledge, temperance, so forth and so on. Go ahead.
For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail.
See? The Lord got us if we continue in these things. Keep going.
For an entrance shall be ministered unto you abundantly.
Abundantly. You understand that? If we apply these things, the entrance into the kingdom will be ministered unto us abundantly.
Perfect.
Meaning that straight gate, that narrow way becomes wide when you apply these things, man. Go ahead.
Abundantly into the everlasting kingdom of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach.
And that's it, man. The Wadi Yahweh Basham Yahushua for this truth, man. The Wadi Yahweh Basham Yahushua for all the benefits that he's, man. Psalms 116. In Psalms 116 and is it 10? I was gonna think like verse 15 or 14 or something like that.
This is Psalms
10
chapter.
I believe therefore I have spoken.
Yeah, you can start there.
This is Psalms chapter 116 and verse 10.
Start where it says, I believe, therefore have I spoken. Go ahead.
It says 116 and 9. I will walk before the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua in the land of the living. I believe, therefore have I spoken. I was greatly afflicted. I said in my haste, all men are liars. What shall I render unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua for all his benefits towards me?
That's a question, man. So how can I pay back the Lord for all his benefits, for all his grace and mercy and loving kindness that he's given me, man? Let's read the next verse.
I will take up the cup of salvation.
That's how we thank the Lord, man. That's how we show we're appreciative of the grace he's given us, man. By taking the cup of salvation. And what does that mean? That means giving yourself wholly into it. That means applying all the things that we've been talking about since the start of camp. Go ahead.
I will take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua.
Go ahead.
I will pay my vows.
We all made a vow when we came into this truth, man. So we got to pay those vows, man. Go ahead.
I will pay my vows unto the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua now in the presence of all his
people, man. And so that's why we out here in the open, man, in the chief place of concourse. That's why we out on the internet, man. Day unto day uttereth speech, night unto night uttereth knowledge, man. There's no language or speech that our voice is not heard in. Go ahead.
It says, precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints.
And then it says what? We die daily, man. So this sacrifice that we're performing unto the Lord, man, hey, that's pleasing unto him. Each and every day, each and every time, man. Go ahead.
O Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, truly I am thy servant. I am thy servant and the son of thine handmaid. Hast thou loosed my bonds? I will offer to thee the sacrifice of thanksgiving and will call upon the name of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Okay, you can read it to the end.
I will pay my vows unto the Lord, now in the presence of all his people, in the courts of the Lord's house, in the midst of thee, O Jerusalem. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
And that's it, man. And that's what it's about, you know? Serving and pleasing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to the best of our ability, you know? So if brothers ain't got nothing else, shit, we can get the hell out of this code.
Just real quick, Psalms 117 and 2. For his merciful kindness is great towards us, and the truth of the Lord Yahweh endureth forever. Praise ye Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
That's it. Hey, man, so Tawadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for giving us the spirit to come out here and do this lesson, man. Hey, for giving us the warmth in our flesh to be able to withstand this cold weather. You know, for giving us the strength to continue to do this week in and week out, man. So we give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakadosh.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to all you brothers preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Bob Ball.
Bob Wall.
Bye, bye, bye.